it was a drama galore at the World Cup again, as Portugal faced Croatia at the round of 32. A lot happened, but before I dive in what happened at that game, because of we saw that the goal that was disallowed, then people are complaining, why did the ref let go the minutes being prolonged that much. That is what happened. And the other game that I want to talk about is for Spain against Australia. I firstly want to start with the game of Spain and Australia, because of a lot didn't happen in that game, because of it was just a simple game for Spain. Before the game started, I told my friend that Spain will have an easier road to that game, because of it's an European team against European team. Spain is used to play with that kind of a teams. Spain are used to play in that kind of a manner. If it was a South American team, yes, I was gonna be afraid, because of Spain are not used to that. Spain are not used to play against African teams, as you saw that they couldn't break the Cape Verde defense. If Spain was gonna play against a South American team, I was gonna be afraid, because of the physicality that the South American teams have. So in that manner, Spain had an easier out of it by facing Austria, which is an easier team compared to other teams from other continents. So for Spain, there's not much to talk about, because of Spain went there and played their game. They went there and make sure that they suffocate Australia. The way Yamal was playing, Yamal was on top of his game, challenging the 1v1, making sure that he make his players come close to him for him to skill and pass by them. And it worked for him. He was an outstanding player in that match, making sure, even though he didn't get the goal that I thought he needed the most, but his skills were very helpful for Spain. He managed to attract three players on him for him to make sure the likes of Dani Olmo are free, the likes of Oyarzabal are free in the box, and that helps Spain. Rodri, the midfield of Austria, they didn't know what to do, because of they were controlling the tempo and everything. Even though I think Pedri at the first half, he was nowhere to be seen. Then after, when Austria they were trailing by 2-0, when they're trying to press very high, maybe they force errors out of those Spain midfield. By Spain midfield, I mean Rodri and Pedri. Is where Pedri became alive, because of I think Pedri liked the pressure very much, because of how do you mean that the moment you start to press him is where he start to be alive in that game. It shows Uri is very good at containing pressure. So other thing is that what I like about this World Cup is that the referee are letting fouls, not fouls, but are letting these games to be physical, because of there was a moment where I saw Pedri, they are tackling him, they are bullying him, things that could be fouled, but they were not fouled. I was very sad, but at the other side, I was happy that the referee are letting the game to be physical. It's what we wanted. It's what we used to at the old days of us watching football, because of the game was so physical, the game was entertaining. And this World Cup, the game is entertaining. Not everything is a penalty, because if it was so, many games will be having penalties, because of the fouls that are not supposed to be fouls. So I'm saying the ref with these foul things, they're doing an amazing job. And by that, I think Spain deserved to win, because of they were the team that showed that they want to win. They pressed the Austria team from the minutes and attack from the minute 1 until the 90th minutes, and that shows already they needed this thing more than Austria. Even though I think Spain has more quality than Austria, but sometimes you face, bro. You either you conquer what you're facing, or whatever that you're facing is more powerful than you thought, and it demolish you. And it was what it was. So other thing I want to talk about is that I want to talk about the game against Croatia and Portugal. That game, it was a good game, but sometimes I keep asking myself for how how do people saying or Portugal has the best midfielders in this generation or in the world? They say Portugal have best midfielders in the world, but that midfielder was being controlled by Luka Modric and Kovacic. These two people are old. Joe, like Modric is an unk. He's approaching 40 or he's 40. Then Kovacic is on his early 30s, 33, 34, 35. That's Kovacic age. And you tell me what the like of Bruno Fernandes, Vitinha, and who's this player who's playing for PSG? They're being controlled by the people who are 30 and above, and they're still young. Like, how does the best midfield trio or the best midfielders in the world being controlled by unks? Like that thing, or it's making me worry to question myself, worry. Is it the system that is wrong at Portugal that cannot get the best out of the players? Or are they are they with the best players in their club teams so that they cover what they are lacking? Because of at United, Bruno Fernandes, he doesn't slow down the pace. The moment he has the ball, he's looking to thread those needle passes, those shampoo, the carpet passes. He's doing those passes. Vitinha is someone we know he can start an attack and finish an attack. But at Portugal, he's slowing the game down. Things are too slow because of them, him and Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is making back passes. Like, how come Bruno Fernandes is not a risky player? And that thing makes Ronaldo to be more slow, more... I don't know how to say it, because of we might say Ronaldo is the one who making Portugal slow because of he's not already slow because of defenders. They just let him they can make an offside knowing that if Ronaldo is not offside and get the ball, they will still catch him. And sometimes I think that may be the reason that Bruno Fernandes is not making those middle passes, because of maybe Ronaldo is slow. And other thing is that how come you're drawing, the game is 1-1, the game is 2-1, and you're going to win the game. And I've always said this each and every time, that the game is not over until the fat lady says. But these coaches are making the same mistake that has been happening. Like, how come, Joe? I don't know why this coaches, Kovacic was there helping the team, controlling the midfield. You're taking him out. Then Justin Gavior, defender on midfield. Then the likes of Bernardo, they become alive in that midfield. They're starting to switch the ball. Willian, they're starting to get the ball more and more and more. And the player that we got in, he didn't manage to give pressure to Gonzalo Ramos, and he scored. They lost the game. Another thing is that what truly bothered me in that game is that Croatia managed to score in the last minutes. But you know what happened? They disallowed the goal, saying the Portugal player, the Croatian player was offside. But in the replay, there were the back view replay. It showed the Portugal player, the one who has the big hair and do not know hair or what. I don't know what kind of a hair it was. But the one with the big hair, he touched the ball. And them saying the longitudinal technology, hey, they feel every touch. How come something that has technology do not feel, or it bounced off someone's head? And they said that thing was offside. How? I'm confused. People be saying FIFA are favoring Messi for him on the later stage of this game, of the World Cup. Right today, they favored Ronaldo for him through the later stage, because of, and no way we didn't see that thing as a offside. It was offside because of the Portugal player touched the ball, then it falls on the offside player of what? Of Croatia, which doesn't make him offside because of the opposition touched the ball before it reaches him. So that thing was not an offside. That's how I felt, and I felt so betrayed that, or how come a team that we see or offside, then le offside, and the thing of the ref letting the game be prolonged so long. That one I didn't understand it, because of I didn't think Portugal celebrated their goal for 3 minutes. For them to add an extra 5 minutes in that game, but nonetheless that game was so entertaining. And for me, I'm very sad because of one of the best midfielders in this generation, the person who made to two semi-finalists in a row and made to the final in 2018 is getting out. So I'm feeling sad that this is the last time I'll be seeing Luka Modric playing in Croatia. This is the last time I'll see one of the best midfielders has ever graced the football pitch, leaving us just like that. But I want to thank Luka Modric for the fun time he had, even though he was playing for the team that I hate, Real Madrid. But acknowledging a best player is never a mistake, because of he managed to change the game. He made me enjoy the game. He made me love and hate him at the same time. So I thank you, Luka Modric, for the time that you gave me, for the fun that I had watching you play the game that we love, the game of football. And by that is my note to say, fade over fade too. We enjoyed the game, even though there was drama. We enjoyed. Away.